Let's discuss how to edit your artwork in Photoshop after you photograph it. So I made sure to photograph this. I used my cell phone and I photographed it. I tried to get it nice and sharp and straight and go straight in front and not at an angle, but it's not perfect. So I'm going to download this from my email. I emailed it to myself and I am going to open this. And I can right click and open with Photoshop, or I can go into Photoshop and file, open. So what I want to do to start is either crop it, make sure these areas are clear at the top and there's no numbers put in the crop tool. But you can see I can crop this, but it's a little off. It's a little bit crooked. So if I bring this in, when you go to the crop tool, as long as there's no numbers written in at the top, make sure you clear it if there are, you can then go to the corner and you can rotate and twist this. But sometimes that's not enough. So, well, it's okay if I don't want to lose any of the painting if I don't have to. And this one's kind of moving a little slowly. If it's not perfect, like I took it at a little bit of an angle, I'm going to hit escape. And I'm going to try this crop tool instead. So there's a perspective crop tool underneath the crop tool. And this one you can drag out. And then you can just click on the corners and get a much more accurate crop of your image. And it will actually, when you're done, it will kind of straighten it out for you. So now here I can see there's a little bit at the bottom still. I just want to clean that up. And I'm going to go back to my crop tool. Make sure you're not on this tool. The crop tool looks like this. I'm just going to bring this up a little because it kept a little of the bottom. If it's cropping too much, the further you zoom in, the smaller the increments it will crop. So before it was cropping too much. Now I'm going to hit enter or click the check mark. Perfect. The other thing I like to do is go up to image and adjustments. You just want to make sure this looks the same way it does in person. So oftentimes I'll adjust the brightness and contrast. Hit OK, just to make it look like it does in person. And then I will adjust the hue and saturation. So with this one, it got a little duller. So if I go into the saturation, I can just saturate the colors a bit more. You can adjust the colors this way too. Mine is purple and it was looking a little blue. So I'm going to adjust that. Hit OK. And then the last thing is if you have any like little spots you want to clean up, there's this BandAid Healing tool. You could go through and like if you had like a little spot on there, you can try to clean it up. Control Z steps back and undoes something if you don't like it. Because sometimes this tool does do weird things. So you can click on things. You can adjust the brush size up here. Or I often adjust the brush size using my brackets on my keyboard. But I just make the brush a little bit bigger than my spots. But ideally, you want this to look the same way it does in person. So if you've got white spots on your painting, you'll want to clean that up on your painting with paint, not in Photoshop. So this is just if there's dust or dirt or something in your original picture. And then from here, File, Save As, save to your computer, and then you're just going to name it. And you're saving it as a JPEG. Right here. Save it. Always choose the highest quality.